Hello everyone. I just spent the morning and pretty much all of my day today mapping out my content calendar for the next week. And I thought, you know what, this is something that I've never actually shared kind of the step-by-step process of on this channel. So let's go ahead and do it right now. This is how I plan a content calendar. So first things first, you're going to need to review any existing posts that you have, look at your analytics, monitor trends. This stuff is going to help inform your strategy for the next week or month or whenever it is that you're planning out your content calendar. So you can do this first just by scrolling on your phone, of course, or looking on the social channel in question. But I actually have been using this really amazing tool called Metricool. Metricool is working with me on today's video, and they actually have a fun gift for you. You can get a 30-day free trial on any of their plans with the code Latasha using the link that's going to be in my description box. And I'll kind of show you some of the tool today. It's really amazing. And one of my favorite things is the analytics feature. So you can connect all of your different social accounts, and I'm talking pretty much everything. You can connect your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. I mean, pretty much anything under the sun. And if you go into the evolution tab, you can click through profile by profile and see how things are going. You can get kind of an at a glance of how the channels in general are performing, but you can also scroll down to the bottom for most of these channels and see individual post performance. Now, this is really what I like to look at when planning my content calendar, because I want to know what to do more of, what to do less of, what to maybe continue testing, right? If I see that all of my reels are really knocking it out of the park, well, then I'm going to pull the lever on that. If I see, ooh, this carousel did really, really well and it was about this particular topic, let's go deeper on that, or let's post more about that particular topic. So that's how I really use the evolution feature of Metricool. But like I said, you can also just do some manual research by looking at hashtags, looking at just industry news, what's going on in your industry or in the space that you're creating this content for, to determine if there are any topics that you need to be sure to cover. So that's the first step. Now, the next step for me is to just write out a list of what I want to either create or get created, depending on your role and how you're working with your clients or for yourself. For me today, I was just posting for the Online Business Launch Lab, which is my own brand. But if I was maybe working with a team that had a graphic designer, I would be drawing up a wish list of content that needs to be created. Now, you could do this in Metricool using the planning feature, but I actually just list out on paper kind of my shot list or my wish list. I don't know, that's just sort of how my brain works. I like to write things down, and then that way I can actually check things off physically once the content has been created too. So my brain just really does well with that. But again, you could easily go into the Metricool planning feature and just kind of make placeholders for this content and leave it in draft mode. That's something I really like about it, is that you can publish, you can schedule, and you can also leave things in draft. Oh, and another cool thing is Metricool also has a feed previewer for Instagram. So, you know, of course, we all want our feeds to look semi-cohesive and aesthetically pleasing. So you can pull that up to make sure that the content you're planning is going to fit in. For example, if there's a color theme or a color pattern that you use for the Online Business Launch Lab account, we're kind of alternating between this tan color and sort of the purples and the colorful oranges. So I like to make sure that, you know, I have enough of each type of content to balance my feed. Then it's time to actually create your content, or maybe this part was already done weeks ago. Just depends, again, like I said, on your client and on your workflow. But for me today, I spent most of my day actually creating the content. The scheduling and the planning is pretty seamless and easy to do. It's really just the content creation that takes the bulk of my time. So I pretty much just worked in Canva and Descript today, cutting up video clips and creating some graphics and some carousels and things like that. Again, this is my brand, but if I was working with a client's brand, I would probably be looping in a professional designer and making things look really nice, but I'm just kind of DIYing it for my own brand. And now that you have your content created, it is time to get it scheduled. And this is another thing that I used Metricool for, using using the planning feature, like I talked about, where you could create those drafts if you wanted to. But it's really, really easy. You get multiple different views on Metricool. You have the option to see multiple different views of your content calendar, which I really appreciate. You can look at it daily, weekly, or monthly, and you just go ahead and create a new post, upload your content, and then depending on the platform, there are different like additional features within that post creator. So for Instagram, for example, you can add a location tag. You can do hashtag research, which is really cool. What I was doing before using Metricool is just manually looking up the hashtags, putting them into this Excel sheet, which is still, it's a good second strategy, but like it takes a lot of time to do the research and check out the volume of the hashtag, check out the quality of the hashtag. And with Metricool, once you start typing in the hashtag, it'll actually tell you how many posts exist within that hashtag. So you can know whether or not it's going to be super, super saturated or whether it's going to be way too small. The sweet spot for me is really somewhere in the middle. Like I like to use hashtags for the most part that have, maybe a few 100,000 posts within them on Instagram. Once you start getting into the millions, it's just like your post is not even going to be seen. And then anything below, I don't know, a few thousand, tens of thousands is just moving so slow that there's not usually a ton of traffic going to it. And you'll just go ahead and schedule it out. Something else that's really nice about this content calendar view is that they actually give you time recommendations or kind of time best practices for your posts. So there's kind of a color code. The darker the kind of pinkish red color, the better the time it is to post. And the closer it gets to white is like probably don't post at, 2 a.m. more than likely. So I really appreciate this because that's something that I always struggle with is when to schedule things. Unless there is a particular event or something that we're, trying to remind people of, it's really hard. So within this calendar view too, you can drag things around. So you can just like pop all your content in there, get it scheduled, write the copy, get the hashtags, get the location tags, all that. And then you can kind of zoom out a little bit and look at that content calendar view and decide, this post might actually be better on Friday, or this post might be better at this particular time. Very, very important that you have that flexibility to move things around when needed. Now, Metricool does support some platforms that don't manually post, like TikTok, for example. You're going to get a notification within your app when it's time to post. So there is a little bit of manual work there, but like for my regular Instagram posts and Facebook posts and LinkedIn posts and tweets and things like that, they'll just go out automatically. So it's really set it and forget it. And also anyway, for TikTok, I like having the post reminders because it encourages me to just get in there and get active on TikTok and engage with other accounts because I personally need that reminder. I'm not a TikTok scroller. I don't really, spend a lot of time in that app normally. So having the reminder does remind me to actually engage on there. A couple of other must-have features about Metricool: you can actually add additional team members to your account, which is really nice. Obviously for, team members, like adding my operations manager, or if you have a social media manager or a marketing assistant or an intern or whoever that might be, of course, that's really nice. So you can add them as a full editor so they can post and edit posts and things like that. But another use case for this is actually adding your client, or maybe even somebody like an analyst or a different freelancer who maybe works on ads, or a graphic designer who is not actually going to be managing the account, but just needs to see what's coming up in the calendar. So you can add them just as a read-only member so that they can view your calendar, maybe give you some notes on it, but they're not actually going to be in there, messing anything up, if you know what I mean. And the last thing here, and probably most importantly for my social media managers and agency owners out there, is that you can have multiple brands in Metricool. So I'm scheduling for the Online Business Launch Lab right now, but I also have my personal brands accounts, the Latasha James. I also have all of my clients' accounts and, the Freelance Friday podcast accounts and just so many different things. So it's nice to be able to like load up all of your profiles for each specific brand and then just easily toggle between them. So you're not having to like log out of different scheduling tools and having, different tools for different brands, or even just having them all mixed up. I've definitely been the person who accidentally posted something to the wrong brand's accounts. Luckily, never for client stuff, but I have done that for posting something on my personal Instagram that was supposed to go out for OBLL and vice versa. So it's really nice to have that structure so it minimizes any errors there. So that was my content calendar planning process. I hope this was helpful for you. And again, I want to thank Metricool for partnering with me on today's video. They have seriously just changed the game for me when it comes to social media management, planning, and analytics. And I know they're going to do the same thing for you. You can use my code Latasha for a free trial of any of their plans using the link in the description. Let me know what you think of it. Feel free to try it out and, come back after you've tried it for a little bit. Let me know what you think of it. And I hope this overall process was helpful to see. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday and Friday, and I will see you in my next one. Bye now.